right. Hello, people. I'm still experimenting a little bit when it comes to the live streaming setup. I've got a bunch of cables and cords everywhere right now, so bear with me for just 1 minute. And I actually tried to prepare this in beforehand, but yeah, sometimes ambition and reality isn't 100% the same thing. So, hello everyone. I think the audio is supposed to work right now, but I'm doing this live stream over my iPhone, so I kind of have a hard time monitoring everything, but that's not important right now. I think we're up and running. I think the audio is working. It might be a little bit on the low side of things, so let's see. If I do this, if I put that one, yeah. So I'm just waiting for my confirmation on the computer that we're live. Still hasn't really seen that, but that's because I didn't really start. Cool. So, hello people. Someone says that it's working. And now now I can see the stream and I can see the chat room as well. Cool. Audio is good, someone says. So that's a good thing. That's a really nice start. And the audio of this one, that's not loud. So the fact is I have actually bought myself a little mixer. So that works. So now everything is supposed to run. OP1, PO32, Mini-Brute 2S, Drum Brute, I know. So, cool. Up and running again. So I just dropped the thing and the audio died. But now we're up and running again, so that feels good. So, yeah, my microphone was off and it's supposed to be on again. Right now, my plan here is to actually make a live stream of some beat making. Just making a track with some samples. I've actually preloaded 3 different samples inside of a machine. And I'm thinking about like 30, maybe 40 minutes, just try to see where I can go with these samples and see if I can make something out of it. In case it doesn't work out, let's just have a nice little hangout and just talk to each other with a Q&A and everything, like we do sometimes. But I feel like making music, and the whole setup is running right now, so I should be able to just fire away, so to speak. That's over there. And now if I stand up to do some scratching and stuff, everything is just going to fall apart. And that's the story of my life, really. The microphone, the turntable. Yeah, cool. What? So this audio should come through. A nice little guitar thing. Is that coming through, the audio from machine right now? I hope it's working. I guess it should work. I can't see no reason why it shouldn't work. Right? Yeah, cool. So, I've got 3 samples loaded in here from one of my like library stuff, free, the audioblocks.com, basically, that whole sponsored thing I did. I got some samples from that site and just thought maybe I shouldn't always like sample from vinyl and stuff. This is totally royalty-free samples and I'm free to use them however I want, so why not just take the easy route sometimes, right? I got 3 samples. One is pretty much like this. I don't know. That's one. This is the other one. Like a jazzy, bluesy little guitar thing. It looks like the sample is a bit more like something happens over here. Just from the wave. Nah, it's pretty much the same kind of deal. A little bit more bass in the guitar here. Yeah, I know I could do something from this, but I need to add a lot of stuff to it, so. Can you guys feel that already? This part's over here? No, I'm sorry. So that could be looped right off the bat. The third sample sounds like this. I haven't really listened to it.
Look at my life.
Yeah, vocals on this one.
Anyone can see I've been my own worst enemy.
Huh?
Worst enemy.
That's a destructive.
I've been my own worst enemy.
That's not a positive lyric at all.
There is a regret. Just let them be.
Just let them be. Won't let them run between you and me.
Not let them run.
Won't let
them run. That could be.
Won't let them run between you and me. Rivers of regret.
That could also be cool.
Won't let.
Yeah, let's just start. Let's take this whole country thing. I normally don't sample from country music, but what am I supposed to do when this is what I have right now?
Won't let them run between you and me. Won't let them run between you and me. Won't let them run. Won't let them run between you and me. Rivers of regret. Just let them be. Rivers of regret. I've let you down so much I know.
I'm not sure any longer.
Won't let them run between you and me.
Maybe go the other way with this one?
Won't let them run. Won't let.
I don't know. This is kind of too easy, but can I just load up some drums over here? That's not drums. let's just go with this one, because I said I was going to do this pretty quickly, like 30, 40 minutes something. So let's keep it simple. The problem is with a sample like this that I need to add a lot of things. It's just not just drums. I need to add drums and bass and maybe like a piano thing and something to go on top of it. This is just a basic rhythm guitar, so. But never mind, let's try it. And the pad mode, choke group 1, edit my sample right here to 1 polyphony, go to the next chop, has to be the downbeat. Okay, cool. Yeah. And okay, let's see here. Okay, I made some kind of mistake here. Three, four, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's make some. This is really straightforward, so let's take a look at the start of the sample as well, because that's just pretty much the same thing, but okay. And okay, that could be a nice one. So let's pitch it down a little bit just to get a different feel for it. So yeah. I can't really let that one go that easy. I like that my worst enemy.
Anyone can see. I've been my own worst enemy. I've been.
I think I could like shoehorn those two together in some kind of way, but for this quick workflow, I'm not sure. So yeah, the camera is kind of like, is that better? Should I even go without the whole thing and make it look like this instead? Yeah, that's better. Cool. Someone's talking about rights when it comes to samples in the chat room. All I can say is these samples comes from audioblocks.com. Totally royalty-free samples. I got an account there so I can download as much music as I want to, and I can do whatever I want with it. So in this case, I'm gonna sample it and make a beat out of it. And we got a couple of people in the live stream. That's cool. About 75 people right now. So. Cool. That pushes me even more to make something out of this. How come those two are... Because I did fuck something up. Let's go even lower in pitch. Yeah. So let's see where we're at right now when it comes to the pitch. I have been working on the MPC Live quite a bit as well, so some of the muscle memory here is like a little bit fucked up. My pitch mode, it seems like I'm pretty much at 0 now, so. I can feel kind of where I wanted to go with this, but two, three, four, one. So let's just try this at tempo. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's not how you do it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. The camera is still okay. So 91.4. That's just a bad shot of a sample. I really don't like the fact that that's another one actually, so let's grab that one as well. So that's something. Now let's go for some drums. Am I gonna go the easy route and just pull up my favorite drums, or should I like, yeah, I don't have time to look for one thing here, one thing there. I might want to, okay, let's do it like this. Let's look for a group in my library and go to let's go to, is it that one? See software. That's not supposed to. Okay, something has, that works. So, cool. If you've ever watched any of my videos before, you kind of know that I'm always, this is pretty much my favorite drums of all time, ever. So let's go back to the window where I can actually see what I'm doing. So, cool. Bo Beats is in the chat room and he wants stuff from this one, so that's maybe, I don't know. With the metronome, just trying to get a feel for it, stuff. Feels kind of good right now. So let's see if we can do something. That's also one of those really sloppy chops, but in a bad way, so maybe like that. Yeah, I said it when I started, this is pretty much too simple, too easy to get like going. The energy is all wrong here, so my normal solution is just to crank up the tempo. I'm not doing that now. I'm going to 92.0 because that works better with me than 91.69 or whatever it was. Let's start by just adding some drums. And yeah, I'm playing stuff kind of like, I could do it super tight and make that really boom bap, boom zaka, like that MPC 60 kind of feel, but instead I'm trying to get a little bit more loose than that. And I don't know if this is gonna work with the sample or not, but I'm just gonna give it a try, okay? So. Let's keep that in mind. Minus 2 semitones on the sample, and let's go up to +3 instead, so +5 from where I was. And without listening to the sample before, just put it on the drums and see how it sounds. Yeah, that's what, I don't know if you guys, if this comes through on the video or not, but just, yeah, pitching a sample up like that, even though I didn't even change the tempo of the drums, that just makes me really, really, really happy. Should I record it? Am I, yeah. Feels like something. I like the feel of this, but maybe not the pattern was 100%. That's a lot better, but in one place this one overlapped the next thing, so I'm just going to truncate that one. I mean, edit the end of it, so what I feel like now, I'm always working in 4 bars, in a pattern of 4 bars, but in this case it feels too repetitive right off the bat. So I'm gonna do it one more time, and if I'm still stuck in the same kind of thing, I'm gonna add 4 new bars on top of this and make it pretty much an 8 bar thing, just to make some variations. But yeah, that doesn't ring out for the next one. So a normal beatmaker would take this one and time stretch, but I'm not time stretching. I don't do that. So okay, I'm never going to use this one. So I'm duplicating my first one that I want to make a bit longer. So I'm taking this one, I'm reversing it. So I should be able to do something like oh, wrong pad, my bad. So you see how simple that is? Just the same sample, but in reverse. No like funny edits or crazy effects or anything like that. Just reverse the sample. So let's do it again. I fucked up. So now it feels much more like a melody, much more like it fits right in place, right? So we got some drums and we got this basic guitar thing. A part of me feels like the sample should. No, a part of me feels like the snare. I do love the snare a lot, but just deleting the other snares in this group. Deleting this one. No, I'm just going to lower the tempo of it to like nothing. So I'm going to keep the sequence, and on this pad I'm going to go to sample, record, and figure out what kind of microphone is going inside the machine right now. Is it yeah, of course it's this one. This is kind of an experiment, but let's try to see what happens. Okay, I'm thinking about like a hand clap of some kind. I'm gonna put it on these 3 pads. So here. Now, be quiet, and I'm gonna try to fix this as good as possible. Waiting for next bar. Fuck. Detection down there. Yeah. So let's have a listen. I don't know. Oh. Maybe this one. That one. I need to edit the endpoints as well. I'm sloppy when it comes to the endpoints a lot of the time. I'm kind of, you can hear the room. Not a reverb, but some kind of artifact. Yeah, let's grab the last one as well. And again, this is kind of experimental. I don't know how this is turning out. instead of playing like this weird thing with the fingers. Oh, sorry, the chat room down there. Okay. Instead of doing this with my fingers, I'm just gonna edit the start points so it's not too tight. I'm not sure. Let's put this one in the original snare. Let's put that in link group 1 as a master. This one as a slave. This one as another slave. And this one as another slave. Yeah, it does have another type of feel, but of course the snare is going to be a part of it as well. What I love about this snare sample is that it actually has quite a lot of low frequencies. Let's just mix it real quick. Yeah, let's put them in one-shot mode as well. So that feels something. Someone says something about a shaker instead of a hi-hat like that, and I kind of do agree on that. So let's go here, go to sample. Now, okay, now I need to move to actually grab some kind of shaker, and it's way up there, so I can't grab it without risking to fuck everything up with the cables. Is it worth it? Yeah. So I need to like do awkward things right here. The last time I tried to move, the whole battery situation just fell out and the microphone died. Maybe it's better to actually just... Yeah, give me a second here. So now it's that microphone instead. Yeah, just hang on. Bear with me and I'm gonna find a shaker. Okay, that just... so, microphone again. So, hi. I'm sorry about that. I just can't find any of my shakers right now. I don't know. I rearranged the whole studio situation a while back and I decided to have all my like rhythmic instruments in one place. Just seemed like it's gone. I do have some kind of tambourine sample that I did myself a while back. So let's go look for a sample. And soon, this has taken too long for me to actually want to proceed. Yeah, I can't find my tambourine thing. I need to go on the computer and go to the search thing. That's the worst. Tamb. Don't even remember how to search. Tambourine. No. In my samples. Yeah. This went really good, right? Ah, it's actually a group. Ah, because I sampled a lot of them. Sure. That's my tambourine. Oh, I can pitch it a little bit, but not like 7 semitones. Cool. This is nice. That's nice. And on that group level, I just need to find some kind of little small thing to make it sound. What's it called? The metaverb. Reverb, gain stretch, metaverb. Just give it some atmosphere. Turn down the volume of that. So, who had this idea? This was kind of a good idea, I think. Yeah. So that's something. And this is my first scene, so let's duplicate it to another one. And make another pattern with the samples. So I need to delete what's there first. That's not good. I was thinking something like okay. Whew, concentrate. Okay, I'm thinking about something like, can I just do that? Oh, sorry about the metronome, I didn't realize. I forgot to turn it off. I'm reading some of the chat, but just I'm reading some of the chat messages, but when it comes to like panning stuff left and right and like automating with an LFO and stuff, sure, maybe I could do it, but right here I feel like I have the drums, I have the sample, now I have my little tambourine. I messed too long with that one. Now I want to add some bass and see if I can make some musical thing out of this. Like going into panning and adding like compressors, and sure I could, but that's not the part of this right now, I think. Yeah, we need to move on. I think we need to get past this little, because this actually happens to me when I make music without doing a live stream and stuff. I get stuck in like thinking about one certain thing. I need to like make this better. I need to change this one out. I need to do this and that. Right now, I just want to go with the flow and start adding stuff to this and just coming up with ideas. Right now, I don't even know the root note of this. So let's get a hold of that first and figure out what kind of, where I am when it comes to pitch. So the computer, Are you still there, people? 71 is watching. So we dropped 5 people. That's depressing. No, it's not. So let's just grab some kind of high-pitched sound. Not a percussion though. And not a crazy one. So the G, the A sharp, and the C. So the G minor kind of works. Or maybe. Sorry for being a bit slow here. Turn off the glide, make it sound a little bit more. Metalizer. Yeah, something like that. So, I know what kind of pitch we're working in. So, that's not the right one. So let's go for that. What's this? Oh. Yeah, okay. Let's go straight to what I normally would do here, and that is, of course, looking for a sound to do here, and in the sounds mode, go to user. Can't find anything because it's still set to tambourine. That's why I don't use the search function, because that just never goes away. So my bass sound. So if you're listening to this on crappy speakers or right on the iPhone or a computer or something, or any other kind of phone, I don't know, you are gonna have problem hearing those frequencies. That's the sub. Let's not do it too low though. So. Is that right? G, A sharp, G, A sharp, C, E, D? I don't know about the D there. Yeah, the D fits on there. So let's go down the bass frequencies again. Let's try to record it. So I'm not consistent at all here. So sure, you can hear it on headphones, but I mean just from small speakers. So that's one part, and for the other pattern, let's record. That's a simple one, but still, it's just a bass line. It's just going to be down there. This is not one of those tracks that has the drums and the bass like playing off each other. So, let's see again if this is okay. Pattern one, sorry, scene one. That felt wrong. That is wrong. Scene one. Because I did something with the pitch here. Let's go down again. Shit, I can't remember. Yeah, but that's the right pitch. This is the way it's supposed to be, right? I did something with the pitch of the sample, so. Hello, Gasoline. Welcome. We're making some beats here tonight. I think this is kind of something. Yeah. So let's. So I had another part of that sample with the vocals that I liked, liked. I mean, it's country music. What is there to like, really? But there was something. Was it over here?
Rivers of regret, just let them be.
This is just
Won't
terrible.
let them run
Yeah.
between you and me.
Won't let them run.
Let them be. Just let them be. Won't let them run between. Won't let them run.
Okay, pitch.
Won't let them run. Won't let them run between you and me.
So maybe we could add like can I do something more interesting? Yeah, I can. So no one actually asked me that, I'm just talking to myself. And let's go for, yeah, we don't need to get super crazy, just a little bit. I'm thinking just a little bit crazy will do. Maybe not crazy at all. Who knows? So if I'm doing that, now fuck. So did you get what I'm trying to do here? So everything is still like MIDI or whatever, and the samples are samples, of course, but let's see what happens when I pitch like everything. Oh, there is something nice about this. Could I use this? Maybe that? Just pitch it down? Boom Bap Art says in the chat. Really? Pitch it down? I was thinking pitching up. I'm always thinking pitching up. So, when it comes to pitch, the sample, whoa. The sample is pitched up 3 semitones. The bass line is at 0. So, let's go down to 3 and let's go down to 0. -3 and 0. So, let's give it a listen. Yeah, I just and the other. I don't know, this just feels too happy and like in a bad way. thinking the other way around. This was at 3 and this was at 0, so let's go from there to 3 more up and 3 more up. Okay, that didn't turn out good. 0 for the bass line and +3 on the sample. So, yep. Back with the lens thing on the iPhone, and let's see if we can like line it up for something else right here.
We'll never play it, but that's cool. The enemy's supposed to hate it.
We interrupt this record. Bring your special bulletin.
We are controlling transmission.
Going out to the hardcore hip hop. Hardcore hip hop. Hip hop. Turn off that bullshit. Turn off that bullshit. Turn off that bullshit. Freak y'all. Turn off the radio.
Due to technical difficulties beyond our control.
Turn down that damn plastic radio.
So,
Jesus, what's happening around here tonight? This place is turning into a fucking insane asylum.
yeah.
The insanity that's around me dumbfounds me.
Medallions so big they can hardly carry that stuff.
Jesus, what's happening around here tonight? This place is turning into a fucking insane asylum. This is turning into a fucking insane asylum.
The insanity that's around me dumbfounds.
You ain't innovating, you're regurgitating.
You play the same damn records every day. They know.
Let's go for a classic. Trying to find samples on a record that I don't even know in a live stream? I don't think so.
Who's this? Who's this? Rockin' the beat. Who's this? Who's that?
Ah,
Hey yo, the beat, rockin' the beat, rockin' the beat, rockin' the beat, rockin' the beat.
So you can hear how things just turn out to sound like proper music pretty much when you just add some scratch on top of it. The mic, no, the camera, something like that. Cool. So the beat isn't like finished or anything, but I don't know what to add on top of the tracks on it. When in doubt, hit the turntable. That's right. So can I just for my own part right here, we have some people dropping off the chat room or the live stream. Yeah, it's still a couple of people, 62. So let's just remember this track. This is one pattern, right? The other one. So this is the one more action is at. So let's just duplicate these scenes, this scene over to place number 3. And let's just delete all of the samples and the bass line. So kick, snare, tambourine, okay? Now we're at this sample. This is just gonna be a really, really fast thing just for my own enjoyment. So this is a sample. I wouldn't normally pick this one. What's that in the start? Okay. Is the camera angle somewhere here? Yeah, it's somewhere in the right place. Could do something like that. Cool. So, just for my own enjoyment, as I said, let's try to like come up with something totally new on this one. Because if I would do my normal workflow here and pitch it up, could actually sound pretty cool. But what I'm thinking here is that I'm going to go the opposite direction and pitch the sample down. And see what happens. I need to prepare it a little bit, so take this one, put it into choke group 1, and put the polyphony to 1 as well. I don't know, legato it's called. Let's just try to chop it up and see what happens. So I don't know anything about this. It just feels like okay. this one is hard. Let's go up and let's tip it down in volume a bit. So that's what happens when I get a really, really crappy sample.
Worst enemy, run between you and me. Rivers of regret, won't let them run.
So never mind everything. Just this is the beat I made. It feels it needs a lot of more stuff to happen. Like bum. Maybe I can just add a bum right there. Another type of, just another.
Worst enemy,
Maybe I could use this.
me.
Again, not sure what I'm doing right now. I'm just trying stuff out. Yeah. And of course, just to keep it in the rhythmic sense of things, I'm just gonna add a beat delay. Make it disappear like that. Whoa, that's way too much feedback.
Won't let them
And let's go for just some vowel here. Okay, this is coming. Now it's happening something. I'm not gonna add that much of it, but just some little chop here and there. What's this? Okay, that's exactly the same one. So sometimes I just like how a formant looks. Translate. Okay, this one. And then copy over here. So let's go for something. Okay. I think I'm just too quick right now. I'm just trying to be super, super, super fast. Okay. Over here. Okay, never mind. So, on this part of the sample again. So the ones I have is oh and me. Now we have cool. No, sorry. And the polyphony is all wrong here, so just bear with me when I'm trying to look for something here. Maybe anyone? So this kind of fits in there. I don't know if it's any good, but I know that it's and now on this thing we're at pretty much six semitones up for everything. Is that right? No, that's not right. One semitone up for the sample. So 12 is an octave plus 1, that's 13. So let's go 13 semitones up. I'm not sure how I feel about this. Well. Well, that's a little bit much. Then again, back to one semitone up. And now again, I'm like, I want to get stuff one semitone up for the bass line, one semitone up on the sample, and one more semitone on these ones. Yeah, that sounds all right, right? One thing though, on this channel, on this group, I feel like I want to add a beat delay there as well. Just a little bit of mix, a little bit of feedback. That's a little bit much. Maybe just one. No? Let's listen to it. So, just listen to this carefully, and it has a lot of bounce in it right now. Okay? So, the drums. Am I the only one that feels this one? And after that, let's add the new ones. Okay. That's a bit too loud. Can I pitch this one? Now let's see. We're at 2, so 14. I could combine those. So this one, now I'm into details, I know, but still, let's add a filter. What's this? A high pass filter? My bad. I wanna apply that on the whole group, I think. High pass. Okay, I think I'm doing stuff. So for this one, the group level, the filter, the high pass. Take everything off from like 180, 190 and up. Then I can just, I don't know. So you want me to use the jam as well? I should do it, but I haven't like really gotten into how to work with it the best way possible. Sometimes I have it over at the scratching station, and I change my scenes from here. It's really useful, but I'm so focused on one thing when I'm working, so let's take away the drums, or whatever it was, sample. That's the drums, my bad. Still finding back to this right level. Pretty much easier to go here, just when it comes to the volume. Okay. I'm gonna add some of those small vocal chops. Yeah, the thing is that I really like the machine jam and I like to have them work together, but just when it comes to the workflow and exactly how to plan it out and do it, I haven't really learned how to use it best. But I know what you're saying though, it's a really cool machine and it works great with the MK3. So, okay, I'm still trying to play my G here. Let's see. We've actually gone up. How much have we gone up in pitch? One semitone. Can I just go back so it becomes a little bit easier for me to play stuff on it? Now I'm not sure. Yeah, everything is right now. Then back to that pattern and
Rocking the beat.
I like those vocal chops on top of it. I really do. If I do may say so myself.
Rocking the
Oh, this is not good.
real shit. Bring it back. Real shit. Bring it back. Real shit. Bring it back.
So, as a matter of fact, I'm doing this whole live stream from my iPhone 8 Plus. Is it the iPhone? Yeah, that's the iPhone 8 Plus. And I'm not sure how everything works here when it comes to like battery and stuff. Can I see that on my screen right here? It seems like I can't really. What happens if I go to the home screen? I don't know. We've been at it for 1 hour and 20 minutes, so I think I'm not coming up with anything better than this for when it comes to music right now. This beat is pretty much what it is, and yeah. Let me have a couple of minutes here to just to like rearrange the camera and stuff. And hit me up with comments or questions or anything like that in the chat room, and we're gonna have a little Q&A, just talk to each other a little bit, because I get a lot of questions when I do live stream and I can't really answer all of them, but let's dedicate some time for that thing. And let's talk, people. If you're interested in anything, any of the pieces of gear that I have, or yeah, my workflow, how I think about stuff, what I think about the different pieces of gear or workflow, anything, just hit me up with questions and I'm gonna do my very best to give you guys some answers for some of the questions. Yeah, I'm just rambling and talking about nothing right now because I'm rearranging my whole tripod situation. So soon we're supposed to have a pretty decent setup, I think, with the camera. If anyone knows, by the way, if I can hit the home button and check my battery status when I'm doing this live stream from the iPhone on the YouTube app, please just tell me. Because I'm afraid that I just hit the home button and everything dies. I think that would be kind of a sad moment. So, tripod. Oh, cables. Don't get a home studio, everyone. It's just a bunch of cables. So now I have to like take a little dance to be able to, okay, cool. Right now the camera is set up something like that. So I'm gonna be sitting right here. Cool. Does that feel okay for me? For you? Whoop. Cool. So we are still live. I didn't kill anything with this whole camera. Messing about with the camera. And I don't know how much you need to see here, but still. So can I take, it took me quite a while to get to this point. Squishy, squishy, scratch, scratchy, scratch. That's a good comment. People are saying hi. Why are you saying hi? We've been at it for 1.5 hours. Cool. What programs are you using with the iPhone? Right now, I'm just using the YouTube app. Okay, let's just try to nail some of the questions really quick because we got some of them. So, at what age did you really got into music? Really? I've been making music pretty much since I was maybe like 14, 15? 14, I think I tried to start, and since then it's just been more and more and more and more, with a couple of like bad situations in past groups and like I was a part of a band and stuff that died, and I was like not making music for 1.5 years or something, but then I was at it again. So really get into music, I don't know. When we created the whole collective Move Cut Clone, I really realized that I could like do this kind of thing, and I can make beats and release that as music as it is, as an instrumental artist, and that was pretty much around 2014. Is the OP1 worth it, or can you get away with the PO series? Okay, do they serve two different purposes? Yeah, they really do. You can't compare the OP1 for a grand to the Pocket Operator series for like, what are they? Like $100 each? That's really not the same thing. You can't compare it like that. The OP1 has the strong side and the weak point of the OP1 is this. The recorder, a 4-track tape recorder that you can use and loop stuff on top of each other with 4 different tracks. And you have nothing of that in the OP1, in the PO32 or PO3D3 or 16 or whatever you have. You can make a bunch of patterns, you can chain them together, but you can never do what you can do in the OP1. The OP1 has sampling, radio, synthesis, and everything, plus a real keyboard, and it's not locked to a specific scale or anything. So you can't really compare those two, I think. How much do you take for a remix? I don't do remixes. Gasoline asks. Viggo asks, I want to get a Machine Micro MK2. Should I better get the Machine MK1? I'd say always get a machine, a normal sized machine over the Machine Micro, because the Machine Micro is really like, yeah, they're cool. They're really good. Both Machine Micro. Let's see here. If I turn that one down, it's okay. If I turn this one down, it's okay. If I turn that one down, that's so. That's the microphone right there. Right. Cool. Sorry, I just had a little bit of. I'd say try to get a real Machine MK2. The Machine MK1. I mean, is that even possible to get a hold of nowadays? Machine Micro is a cool one, but yeah, you never know. Machine Micro, yeah, I'd say get a proper machine over a Machine Micro. 10 times out of 10. Can you sample, for example, James Brown? Yeah, just watch my entire YouTube channel. It's all about sampling. Can you play the piano? Someone asks. Play the piano, No, I can't just sit down and play like a Whitney Houston song on the piano. I can't. But I can play my little melodies, and I can play a little bit of bass line here and there and some chords and come up with a song. But I can't play like other people's music and play from notes or anything. I mean, read music. Would you get a jam for a micro, for a duo with MK3? I'm not sure actually if you can use a Machine Micro and a Machine MK3 together. I tried to use the MK3 together with MK2, that didn't work. I've tried to use the MK3 with the MK1, didn't work. If a MK3 will work with a Machine Micro, I'm not sure, but it does work with a jam, because jam is made that way. But I haven't even ever gotten 2 machines to work together on one computer, so be careful with that. Do you have any tips on sampling? Yeah, my number 1 tip is don't grab a sample, listen to the tempo, and just slice it up in quarter notes or 8 notes or whatever. Listen to the sample, find cool chops. Try to focus on nice sounds and take the best parts you like. Might be some kind of scream, might be a bass note between like 2 8th notes. Grab those instead of chopping it straight and just rearranging that kind of thing. I think it's way cooler and way more creative to actually just chop it up where you like the slicing points to be. So that's my first tip on sampling. Are you integrating machine and MPC Live? You must mean when you use them separately. I use them kind of together. I'm using Machine as the main one and the MPC Live as a standalone device. So I have samples and I have the whole audio setup here running into the MPC Live as well, so I can sample and play it back. Because one of the really strong sides of the MPC Live is the audio it produces. If I just load drum sounds inside of Machine and the same drum sounds in the MPC Live, it sounds a lot better from the MPC Live. Just right off the bat, it just sounds better. That's something with the audio outputs or the internal, I don't know what it is, but it just sounds a lot better, punchier, fuller, yeah. So that's pretty much how I use it. I don't use any DAW really. Normally I just use Machine in standalone mode and everything that's inside the Machine software. And I run all my equipment as audio through a mixer inside the Machine. And that also goes for the MPC Live. It just runs the audio to Machine. Then of course I have the software installed as well, so I can just fire that up and use it separately. But normally I just use it as a standalone device. But I haven't had the MPC Live for more than like 1.5 months or something like that. So yeah, that's how I do it. What about FL Studio? Yeah, what about FL Studio? For my job, we actually are buying FL Studio right now and installing it on our iMac, because the latest like beta version of FL Studio for Mac seems to work pretty decently. I haven't used FL Studio ever, so I'm thinking about trying to learn FL Studio so I can do classes and stuff in that as well at work. But I think I have FL Studio. I used to have it on this computer as well, the beta. Yeah, there it is. No, that's not it. Yeah, I've tried it for just like 10 minutes, but no, it's not my kind of workflow. But I know a lot of people use it and I want to get into it, but I just don't have the time right now. Do you think Machine will get into standalone game? Do you think Machine will get into the standalone game? Do you have gripes about the MPC Live? I don't have any inside information here. I really don't. I have a connection at Native Instruments and that works great, but I don't know anything about the future. But I don't think, I'm not sure about it, I just don't think Native Instruments will ever release a Machine version that's standalone. I don't think so, because their whole concept is controllers and things to integrate in the digital realm. So why make it standalone? I mean, sure, if they can run the same software on a device that pretty much has a computer inside of it, like the MPC Live, sure, why wouldn't they? But I just think, maybe I'm wrong here, but I don't think they will do that. I just don't think so. Let's see if we can just put that one over there again. Something like that, and is that a cool angle? Do you use the tape machine behind you for tape saturation? Yeah, I do. Sometimes I do. I want to be able to use it more, but again, time and if I do have a sample or I have a project or something that I want to like have that effect, I can just run it into the tape recorder, record it in there and take it out again. Just record it back on the computer. That's what I use the tape recorder for, and that's also what I use the cassette deck for. So yeah. What do you think about lo-fi hip-hop? We've talked about this before. I think lo-fi hip-hop is kind of a bad term. I don't like what happens with that, what really happened with the term. When we started Move, Cut, Clone, a lot of us talked about that being lo-fi hip-hop, but now lo-fi hip-hop is pretty much just sloppy drums, any kind of slow sound with a bunch of LFOs that slowly changes, and that's kind of it. For me, yeah, been there, done that, pretty much. A lot of lo-fi hip-hop sounds pretty much the same to me. One track is similar to the next track, and yeah, it's not really my cup of tea, but some artists in the lo-fi hip-hop scene some producers are just fantastic. I'm not going to say anything else, but the whole scene and producers just coming up and making lo-fi hip hop, like releasing one album a month or a week, really, just pumping beats out. I don't like that. I think it kind of destroys for a bunch of us. But yeah. Recently, it's another question here. Recently, I've been making lo-fi hip-hop style stuff, and I would love to start some DJ scratch stuff. Where do you suggest I start? What's your recommendation for a starter turntable? If you want like vinyl like I use, or do you want Serato or Tractor thing? That's the first question, because there are a bunch of controllers and stuff. I'm not really into that, so you're asking me. My answer is going to be the PTO One Scratch from Newmark, because that's a real turntable. You'll have to buy the small, the 7-inch scratch records, but those and just the unit as it is, or just change out the fader to another one, and you're all up and running. You're good to go. So if you're a beginner, I mean, the whole the PTO One Scratch, that's about like $150, I think. So it's a really cheap way to get into a scratching setup, and you don't need a proper mixer and all the expensive stuff that I use. So that's my first recommendation, really. Then there are some trolls. What is your view about fully composed beats, not chopped samples? Yeah, I think it's cool. I've made some of them on the channel, and I do it sometimes. I just sit here and play stuff with the synths and like the VSTs and stuff. I like it a lot, but I'm an old school boom bap kind of hip hop dude at heart. So what I really enjoy is sample based beats, and what I really enjoy doing is sample based beats. Sometimes, sure, like a nice Rhodes piano, some heavy drums on that, maybe a couple of synths on top of it, and a deep, sure, I love that shit. But yeah, my views. What is your view about fully composed beats? I like it a lot. I like it as much as I like sample-based beats if the beat is good, if the production value is there, and the melodies and the bass line and everything just fits together. Of course, I like it a lot, but it needs to be good music. That's the basics of it all. Someone else says, I doubt that Native Instruments will ever go standalone. Their market is mostly towards live DJs. Sure. Can I record my bass and sample it? Sure you can. Just run it into whatever you got. The MK3 has a built-in audio interface, so just right in there. With like, you might need some kind of thing to go from the signal you get straight from the bass, like a little, what's it called? A thing that transforms the signal from that level to this level. But sure, you can just run it in here, sample it, and you're good to go. Or use an external audio interface. Where do I go to listen to your finished music? The beats are very cool. Thanks. I can just point you to Spotify or whatever kind of service you use. Search for Accurate and Escape from the Zoo. That's my last like beat tape. Escape from the Zoo is my part, and the other side of that cassette tape is Firm with his Yadu tape. But just Spotify, Accurate, Escape from the Zoo, you're gonna find that beat tape, and everything that's on Escape from the Zoo is just my production. So that's my last release. But also check out my Kickstarter campaign and make sure you back that project, because it runs out in like 2 days, and that's pretty much the best way to make sure that you have a pre-order copy of my upcoming vinyl. So I'm releasing a 12-inch vinyl next. Super cool. Someone wrote something in Finnish, I think. I don't know Finnish. I'm from Sweden, so sorry. Can you translate that or just, yeah. Have you heard about synthesia? Many beat makers have this brain condition. Okay, let me. Synthesia? I don't know. Some kind of a joke. So, who's your favorite MC rapper? It's a new question. Who is my favorite MC or rapper? And right off the bat, and right now, I'm so deep into Evidence and his last album, Whether or Not. That's just, woof, that's just crazy. Productions from Premier, Alchemist, Evidence himself. That's a great album. Evidence is a great rapper. He's always been a great rapper. One of my favorite at all times. So for now, I'm just going to say Evidence. What do you think about Moog Sub Fatty? Have you ever had experience working with it? And no, I haven't. I haven't like had any Moog synthesizer at all. I like the whole signature Moog sound a lot, but I think Waldorf synths also has a really specific type of sound to them, and I think I really appreciate that sound more. The whole thing with the uniqueness of the filter that's inside of kind of all the Moog synths, like it a lot. I think it's cool. Have I ever had one? No, unfortunately not. Do you know any Italian rapper? No, I don't. My half-sister lives in Italy, but I don't know anything about Italian rappers. I'm sorry. Do you do live performances? Yeah, I do. Me and my crew members from Move Cut Clone sometimes get small gigs inside of record stores or like small pubs and stuff. We play beats and we do it live. I use the MK3 for that. Maybe I'm going to use the MPC Live for live use as well, or instead. But that's what I do. Firm and BTech, my friends, they make beats on MPC Renaissance, both of them, as well as SP44 and stuff. But they always use their SP44 SX for live use, and they're super cool. But I try to implement a little bit more of like playing stuff live, finger drums and like stuff. So the machine works awesome for that, and the MPC Live will as well. But we don't do like live gigs with thousands of people in the audience jumping around and stuff. It's just laid back beat showcases pretty much. So I would love to get more into that, but it doesn't pay very well. What kind of slip mat do you use on your turntable? That's a good question. That's a really good question, because I use this slip mat. This is Move Cut Clone, my crew that I'm always talking about. So this is just a simple filt mat, nothing fancy at all, just normal filt slip mat. Pretty much standard, the basics, the easiest, the simplest thing out there. It works great for me. I'm not a fully fledged, really well developed scratch DJ either, so that's that. But what's really cool is that if you look on my Kickstarter, you can pledge for a reward that's the album, a t-shirt, and a slip mat. So you can actually get one of those slip mats from me or from us, completely new, like shiny and not dirty as my old one is. Really cool, actually, and it's a nice product to have. We should be releasing this one in our store as well, but we just haven't found the time to put more stuff in there. But that's my slip mat. Been using it 1.5 years, I think. Should get a new one. Sprechen Sie Deutsch? No, I don't speak German. I'm from Sweden. Okay, more questions. Sorry, I'm a little bit slow here, feels like. How do you go about being stuck on adding sounds around the sample and not knowing whether the track is finished or not? For my real production, when it comes to my albums and stuff, I just put it away a couple of days and go back to it. And if I feel like it still lacks something, I need to add more, I try to add more. If I feel like, okay, this is cool, this is what it is, and I like it a lot, then I'm maybe just gonna make the track a little bit shorter. Every song doesn't need to be like 3 minutes long. So if I feel like something is missing, I might just leave it at that and make it shorter. But I think that's really a healthy thing to do. Just put it away for a couple of days and go back to it. Right now, I'm thinking about how did this beat that I did now, how did that actually sound? Because I felt like I needed to add something more, but I might be wrong. So if I'm putting on my headphones again and hitting play here, I might be happy. I might be not so happy. You don't know. Any tips for beginners on production? Yeah, my number one tip is don't care so much about gear. A lot of people on YouTube and a lot of people that ask me questions are always talking about gear. What can you do with this one? How can you work with this one? How does that work with that? That's interesting, and I'm a nerd like that as well. But when it comes to a beginner, he just wants to start making beats, yeah, use your phone, use your iPad, whatever you have. I can make this track I made right here. If I just had that sample loaded into my iPhone, I can make the exact same track. It would take a little bit longer, it would be a little more hassle, but I could do the exact same thing. And you could too. I mean, just stop focusing on gear and start focusing on ideas and workflows and stuff. YouTube is a great place to look for knowledge and tips and tricks and stuff. Do you have a go-to BPM? Yeah, 92 or 94. Sometimes I go down to 88, but normally my go-to BPM, my starting point is 92 or 94. Cool. Do you only sample from audio blocks? It's not. No, I don't only sample from audio blocks. I sample a lot of things. But if you're gonna sample, just make it short and change it a lot and make it unique and make it your own kind of thing. And don't let it show that it's a sample from somewhere else. Just work, 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 work. Pitch, effects, chop it up, rearrange, and finally, it's a whole different product. And if you don't want to work like that, just grab a sample, chop it up, get an idea, add stuff, add like a piano thing, add something that goes along with it, that maybe like a flute sound or anything, just a bunch of frequencies. Take the sample out and see where you're at, because normally, even without the sample, if it's a good idea and you like have worked good on the track, it's good. It's gonna be a good song, a good beat, no matter the sample, if you add enough stuff to it. So that's a version. Have you ever produced a house track, but with hip hop sensibility? No, I really don't, because my thing is BPM and tempo and feeling and swing. So if we're talking about house, we're talking at least 110 BPM, up to like 130, 135, I don't know. And well, I just don't like it. I just don't. Yeah. Another one asks, all your plugins are legit? And yeah, they are. I've made videos on the Arturia V Collection 6, legit versions. Everything in the machine realm, legit versions. I wouldn't use anything not legit when it comes to software. I'm editing videos in Final Cut Pro, that's also legit. I'm way too old and I've come way too far to download stuff and be illegal about it. So no. If you want to be semi-professional, I think you should stop using stuff that's not legal when it comes to like software. Tired of making beats with a mouse and trying to get more professional sound. From your experience, should I buy MK3 or MPC Live? I'm gonna cover that in a video. I'm gonna do a comparison of the sampling functionality and the workflow of Machine Mark III and the MPC Live. I'm also gonna touch a little bit on the OP1 that also handles samples and stuff. And we're gonna talk about that more in a later video. I can't give a good answer, and really not in a live stream like this. So sorry, I'm not gonna answer that one. You said MPC Live sounded better than Machine. I suppose that also the reason you got the drum root, because it sounds better than Machine, or because it's more fun to program drums on it. The cool thing with the drum root is that it's analog, and when I tweak a knob, I tweak the sound directly. It's no samples, nothing like that. It's just pure synthesis, drum synthesis. It's another kind of sound than anything in Machine, of course, but one knob per thing works really good for me. I like that a lot, being able to just turn a knob and things will happen. Plus the sequencer is super cool. And combining stuff, like having a drum sample here, and I feel like, okay, I should be able to get some more punch in that kick drum. Then I can just add a kick drum from the drum root, and I can tweak that exactly to my liking. So that's why I have the drum root, because it adds something else that I don't get in Machine. Is that an answer? Hur kan jag hitta info om era gig? A question in Swedish. How can I get information about your live shows? To be honest, we're pretty bad at updating our website and stuff. My best guess is just follow me on Instagram, accurate_beats, I think it is. Accurate_beats. Or is it accurate beats in one word? Just look for it. I'm gonna make posts there if we have any live gigs, but it's not like we have a live gig every month even. I mean, it's not very often right now. But when we do have shows, in the beat part of it, it's probably going to be in Gothenburg. We don't do many live gigs in Stockholm and stuff. We're pretty much based around Gothenburg, so that's where we're playing most. Sup Accurate, did you hear my sounds? No, I didn't hear any sounds. Got Sleepy, I know him from Time of the Magpies channel, but I don't know what sounds you're talking about, sorry. Did you ever use GarageBand? If so, what did you think of it? I've used GarageBand on the iPad, like that. Yeah, it's kind of limited and it's not well suited for my needs, but it's all right. And my main DAW, if I'm using a DAW, is Logic, and the little brother of Logic is GarageBand, and it works really good when it comes to most things. But the whole live drummer and the fake instruments, not my cup of tea. Don't like it. Don't use it. But that GarageBand is free with a Mac. That's just awesome. That enables anyone to make music, and I think that's cool. Again, Machine or MPC, I'm gonna answer that in another video. Do you still play around with the PO33 or boring? I have it connected right now and I'm using it quite a bit actually. It's still kind of new to me and I'm in love with it, with the honeymoon and everything, but yeah, I do use it. More for fun than for like professional use, but I like it. I had GarageBand, but I gave up on it. Don't give up. Don't give up on anything like that. Just keep at it. If you want to make music, make music. Hip Hop TV, tjenare, MF. Hip Hop TV, hi, tjenare, hey, tjo. Good video. Does MPC have chord or scale mode just like in Machine? Yeah, It does, but I would say the chord and scale mode is actually better in the MPC Live than it is in Machine. I showed it off a little bit when I did my video, my first video on the MPC Live. Yeah, I'm not going to show this now, but in the main menu you can go to Pad Perform. That's a whole sub menu, and you can go through chords, you can go through chord progressions, you can. This is way more than Machine has when it comes to this. I don't use this a lot because I try to play my things manually, but for like coming up with ideas and getting a starting point for stuff, this is awesome. And everything you record for this mode, the scales and the chords and everything, they gets recorded as notes, so you can record it like this, then just take a look at it and watch it yourself and figure out how to play it and like develop from there. So yeah, it definitely has that functionality and better than Machine, I think. You can like change how you want it to scale on the pads, and yeah, that's great. One of the real strong points with Machine MPC Live, sorry. Please re-upload this. Yeah, I decided that this live stream is actually gonna be on YouTube, because when I look at my account, I don't know how it looks from your side, but when I look at it, I have 99 videos. I don't know if some of them might be private or not, but this will be video number 100, so it's gonna stay up there, I think. If I don't like wake up in the morning and feel like, oh, it's way too bad, I need to take it down. You never know. Did you ever use Ableton Push? No. I've used it, and I kind of like understand it, but I haven't used it in my setup and made music with it like a lot, because I got into Machine when it first came out, and I'm pretty much stuck there. So, I mean, in my mind, the MPC Live changes everything right now, but Ableton Live and Push, never been into it. I like to study your tips. Just thank you. How often do you sample breakbeats versus making your own drums? That's a good question, because I sample a lot of breaks from records, but then I chop up a drum break, kick, hi-hat, snare, whatever. Then I save that inside of Machine with my effects and stuff. Then I use it for another project and I tweak it a bit more and I save a new copy of it. And I might add another layer from another sample on top of it and bounce that down to one single file. And in the long run, I don't really know where my drums come from, because I've like added stuff to them and changes, saved new instances of the same sound over and over again. So sometimes I go to my own library here, my own drum sounds that I've tweaked over the years, and yeah. So a lot of the times I just go to that folder and find my own old chopped up drum breaks with separate everything, because I did that a lot for a couple of years and I still use them because